Hey guys, welcome to Movies Are the Future, the ultimate film-obsessed movie podcast experience. We had a little bit of a technical issue about midway through the episode where our audio files crashed and we weren't able to recover them. So unfortunately, a significant chunk of the episode is just the audio ripped from the cameras, but we thought it was good enough. You can still hear everything. It's just a little bit of ambience from the room, but
residual fan spinning.
Yeah, but we apologize for that, and we're definitely going to get my laptop sorted out over the next few weeks so that it doesn't happen again. But the second half of the episode, including the topic of the month, has crisp, clear microphone audio. So make sure to check that out.
Crisp.
And now, Movies Are the Future.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Did I leave the stove on?
I didn't choose this counselor. This counselor chose me.
Future.
Alrighty. And insert catchphrase and welcome to your ultimate film-obsessed movie podcast experience. A show that will finally prove that movies
Ah.
The future.
that was smooth. We should
Very
definitely
nice.
not do that again. I'm Harry Sweeby and this is Declan
Wilson.
and Dragon.
Simon.
And together we represent the creative collision of theslopshack.com and the Instagrams now. It's like the Facebook, how it used to be the Facebook.
The
and now it's
Facebook.
The Instagram.
Was it though?
For
It was
small
the
time.
Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they bought all the domains at once? So out there, Zuckerberg owns the rights to Facebook,
Didn't they?
and
Yeah.
then Facebooking and multiple versions of it.
Probably does. That's how he gets all his bank.
And Instagram's #1 movie news and review page, movies _of_the_future.
Easy as that.
Easy as that. Which you can check out here at the links where my hands shall be. If this is your first episode, welcome. We've put together a small frequently asked questions page on theslopshack.com, which is available at the link below. So head over there if you want to know what the hell this thing is. Or you can just sit here and work it out as we go along. But essentially, we'll be covering sort of the big pieces of news from February, including our topic of the month, the Academy Awards of Is it the 2019 Academy Awards, or is it?
I always
But it's the
consider it like that,
2018
Yeah.
Yeah.
movies.
Movie
That's
season,
always
yeah.
good.
I don't know. You worked that one out. It was the
91st, yeah.
And 100's gonna be big, right?
It's gonna
what
be
are they gonna
grand.
do?
Fireworks.
Outside.
Inside.
Whoa. They're just finally gonna bring it.
Yeah.
It's just been a bit of a shit show for the last few years. They're just gonna burn everyone with them, take it down. They're like, streaming services are killing us. Let's do it
Let's
for
just
them.
burn it.
We're back to releasing the full audio and video version simultaneously, so if you're a fan of long-form content, this is a win for you guys. But we will be releasing a variety of sort of 10-minute or so clips on the YouTube channel, so if you like the bite-sized pieces of content, then there'll still be some things for you there. And of course, if you want to listen to this while you work, /drive, /gym, /game, the audio version of the podcast is available on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, and all of your classic audio services. Where you can download them and listen to them however you want. So if you can't wait, check out the audio versions below. Alright, how you guys doing? How you been since episode 2, the infamous episode 2?
Well, uni started up again, so that's always a good time.
Have you been in much? Are you in a lot? Is it dragging your
5 days
life?
a week.
Really? Yeah, because there's not a single day that you could skip. It's like just a lecture or something.
No, I would never skip uni.
Wink.
What do you have to do this semester? Are you making any films, or is it just sort of more sort of
Yeah.
theory stuff?
I'm doing a documentary subject.
Oh.
What else are we doing? Stuff.
Doing lots of stuff. Clearly the I don't know, 30
Money
grand
well
is
spent.
paying off, yeah. Dragon, how have you been? Have you been catching up on all the movies? You still watching more than Declan and I combined?
Probably. Yeah, maybe.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Well, with that good news, let's jump into the first segment.
What's out, folks?
Graphics. which Dragon refuses to do. It was so good. I was editing the last episode.
Oh, and you just hear my voice.
I'll have to release this soundbite, but it's Declan and I going like graphic, and then it's you going, I refuse to do it. It's so good.
I'm just not cool enough. I'm not on that level of doing this. I'm
Just
sorry.
not a graphic man.
I'm not a graphic man.
You're a little
So
bit
what is
more
out, Dragons?
centered.
What is out? Well, Alita Battle Angel.
Surprisingly good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I thought it was really good.
I was never looking forward to it. I remember watching the trailer like late last year, and it was going to come out Boxing Day, and it got pushed. And then after watching it,
Thank God it didn't come out on Boxing Day.
oh yeah, it
would have been a shit show
Yeah.
of epic proportions.
Yeah.
But now it's actually, is it going to make money? Is it doing alright?
Oh,
It's doing
made like
decent.
260 mil worldwide, which sounds like a lot, but isn't a lot because it costs about 200 mil, not including advertising, which is probably another 100 plus mil.
Yikes. I've seen it on literally every bus that has passed me in the last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, so
It's just like relentless.
but yeah, it sets up for a sequel pretty hard, which is a shame because
It's not even like set up for a sequel, it's just like half of a movie. You know, it just sort of ends. Like,
yeah,
no spoilers, but definitely check it out.
still really good.
I
But
feel like this movie definitely got like its world building, and just like the thing is, this movie, while it set up another one, it felt warranted. Like it was all building to something, whereas like other movies that have tried to force out another one, it's like, oh, really? Whereas this one, I'm like, I'm keen to see more if we get the chance to see another one.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. Like the I think what sold it for me was just the main character of Alita. Like she actually like was sort of likable, and even though it's classic like, oh, I've got amnesia, who am I? She doesn't have no personality. Like she's actually sort of like fun to watch, and constantly sort of like, you know, bewildered by everything, which is kind of cool. And it makes the exposition really easy because it's, you know, her just not knowing anything apparently. But yeah, there was that, and the CGI is nuts.
Oh yeah,
and the world building and
Yeah. The costume design, it's just really good. Like, I mean, it's not obviously, you know, the best movie of the year. Probably won't make it onto my like top 10 or even my honorable mentions, but I think it's still worth a shout out as a
pretty solid hit so far.
So if you're bored and you need something to go and watch, go check it out. It's not a bad time at the cinemas.
Also, another movie that came out this month is Cold Pursuit, starring Liam Neeson.
Revenge is a dish best served Irish.
Did you guys see it?
No, I haven't seen
No?
it.
I really liked it.
Huh? Really?
Like, Liam Neeson usually, like at the start of every year, I've noticed for the past couple of years, has these like enjoyable but like pretty generic action movies. So after watching, the trailer for Cold Pursuit, it had this dark comedy sort of vibe to it, and I was like, oh, this might be something different. But because I've seen so much of that in the past, I'm like, I wasn't that excited. But this movie goes in a direction that is kind of weird at first, but then you're like, alright, I like where this is going.
Okay.
It's an unexpected movie, if I had to call it one. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's my favourite of the year so far.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I really liked it. I love the storytelling, the way it's broken up, and just like elements of the movie.
It's just Liam Neeson outside.
Yeah.
Revving a bike. I guess maybe we'll just pause it there. Actually, let me. Oh, there you go. Okay. That's all right. We'll power through. So what would you sort of give it then out of like say 10?
Out of 10, I'd give it an 8.5. I really liked it. If you go into it without thinking, oh, it's just another Liam Neeson action movie, because it's not an action movie, even though Liam Neeson is like, this is my last action movie, which is kind of ironic.
He's been saying that for every movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. But this is more of a character sort of movie, and then it's like, it's such dry humor as well. Shots just linger on moments where you're like, alright, this should cut, but then you just find yourself laughing.
Yeah,
You're like, why?
okay.
But yeah,
Does it strike you as a movie that was initially sort of a generic action movie, but then they sort of re-edited it to be a bit funny, or was it definitely a part of the sort of script from
The vibe I got from the trailers was like, yeah, there was dark comedy elements, but it just felt like another one of those action movies. But I feel like it definitely helped because this is actually a remake of a 2014 movie. I'm not too sure of the title, but it's by the same director.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so he remade his own movie.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, in English, and I really like. It's just something different this year, and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You definitely sold me now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
I had no intentions of seeing it at all.
I would love if it stayed your number one movie, like through Endgame, through John Wick. It's just
Number one, Cold Pursuit.
Be such a troll in awesome. What's next?
Another recent one is a sequel, Happy Death Day to You. Have you guys seen the first one?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow. I really liked the first one, although I had no intention of watching it, but because that trailer with like 50 cents in the club kept playing in front of every movie in 2017.
Yeah, that's true.
I finally got around to watching the first one like a year ago, and I'm like, damn, this is like solid. It was unexpectedly really funny too. And I like the lead, Jessica Ross. She was really funny as well. And Happy Death Day to You. It's so different from the first one. It's a sci-fi comedy more than a horror comedy.
Because I was wondering how you. I mean, obviously I haven't seen the first one, so I don't quite know how it is. But based on the sort of time loop sort of thing, I was like, how do you even make a sequel?
They explain a lot and like reasons are given. It's not the strongest, but like it is what it is. And I guess like my only real like complaint with it is just the movie starts off like, and then for 20 minutes it follows a character, and then the movie cuts like a scene, and that's when it feels like it properly starts. It felt like the last 20 minutes were just like, okay, and then the movie properly starts after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's way more funnier than the first one. It's definitely more science fiction, and the horror element actually fell out of place for me in this. Yeah, it felt like, oh, we need to capitalize on the baby mask, so we'll just have another killer in this movie. So that's how I felt with it. Yeah,
Cool.
I'd say it's just an easy watch, really enjoyable, especially if you like the first one.
Yeah, it seems like something you really have to watch the first one. Like it's sort of like Also, shout outs to the title, which we did mention in the last episode. Which mentioned the best and worst
Happy
movie
Death Day
titles
to
of all
You.
time. But what do you reckon? Is it good or bad?
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that a third one could be called, because the main character's name is Tree, which is short for Teresa. It's going to be called Happy Death Day Tree. And I'm like,
I don't know if this one's going to make enough money to do that, but I mean, we can dream.
The thing, they kind of set up another one, and the first one was kind of horror comedy, this was sci-fi comedy, and the third one, by the looks of it, looks like action comedy. Like it looks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting
What
what
an
they've got with it.
unexpected franchise.
Yeah.
You know? There you go. Excited.
And lastly, Escape Room.
Which I still haven't seen a single trailer for. Like I've seen the posters everywhere.
Oh
but
yeah.
I still actually don't even know what it's really about.
The trailer's spoiled a lot because I watched the Mule and Escape Room trailer play before it, and I'm like, wow, awesome.
Don't need to see the movie now.
And the first scene in the movie is is one of the last scenes in the movie. And you know, like some movies do that.
Yeah.
And they do it ends up being some cool
Yeah.
thing. Here it's not.
This played the whole scene.
They show like
Yeah.
the whole scene at the end in full thing, and it's escape rooms. So the movie, like people sort of die throughout.
Yeah.
And they show the one person who's alive at the end.
In
So
the
you're
last
watching
room.
it and you're like, well, I know all these
Yeah.
people are gonna die, and it was just really dumb because
It's like, spoiler alert, but it's like showing in Mission Impossible 3. It's like showing Michelle Monaghan's like alive. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it's weird.
Although I do appreciate the production design on Escape Room because some of those rooms were pretty fantastic, especially that upside down one. Like I love that room.
I have to agree.
So you guys, did you see it? Like, When did you see it?
So, like maybe
2 weeks ago?
2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not recommending it?
No.
Unless-
I've heard a lot of people
Yeah.
do like it.
If you're with like a group of friends just wanting to have fun,
It's quite a
Why
good
not?
movie, Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I really didn't think it was that good. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I'll not check that one out. We'll see what happens.
But maybe you'll check out Escape Room 2.
Ah,
Oh gosh.
because they announced a sequel,
Yeah.
apparently.
No, it's official, yeah.
Oh, yeah, legit. So, how much money has it made? 'Cause that-
120 mil.
Of a
Wow.
9 million budget.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah.
well, there you go. I guess it's just sort of that you hit the January market at the perfect. Oh, February.
Well, it's coming out April next year.
Damn, already in the works.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay, so last month we had a look back at the movies that were released in January of 2009. And so now that it's February, well, it's March, but we're looking back at February.
Yeah.
I figured we'd look at the movies that were released in February of 2009. So I'll just go through these real quick. It was a big month. I'm continuing to be really impressed by the amount of quality movies, or at least memorable movies that were released 10 years ago. So on this day, well, not this day, this month. Sometime 10 years ago. Coraline. Coraline was released.
Haven't seen
I
it.
never saw it.
What?
You saw it?
Oh, it's creepy, but it's so good. And its stop motion is awesome. So
Yeah.
shout outs to Julian Tingy if he's watching. I think it's like one of his favorite movies. Fanboys.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Star
I've heard
Wars
of it,
one.
yeah.
It was written by the guy who wrote Ready Player One, the book.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a fun bit of trivia for you. He's just not that into you. With
that,
I think that's a Ben Affleck movie.
Is that with Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, it's one of them. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But
One of the rom-coms.
it sounds really
Probably
familiar.
came out during Valentine's Day.
Yeah, true, February. The Pink Panther 2.
With Steve Martin?
Yep.
Oh,
Steve
gosh.
Martin. What a weird franchise. If you go back through the history of that from like the 60s through the 80s and the actual original series, it's like, I remember one time I had surgery on my mouth, like it was like a teeth thing. I had teeth taken out.
Wisdom teeth?
No. It was a whole thing. But anyways, I had surgery and then I had stitches, and so I couldn't really eat anything. So I just remember renting out every Pink Panther movie, and it was like there was like 6 of them. It's like, and it goes through the whole titling. It's Revenge, Return, Trials of the Pink Panther
Right,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's like it just keeps going, and I remember just drinking lemonade and binging that when I was like 8. It was weird. Push, Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah.
That came out 10 years ago. Confessions of a Shopaholic
Isla
with
Fisher.
Isla Fisher.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, the remake. And The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Swedish
Oh.
version.
Wow.
So the first ever adaptation of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
book. So there you go. It's a little look back into 10 years ago this month.
Wow.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
It's time to jump into the headline stealers. Graphic. Boom. I have finally been able to rise through the ranks to be able to host the headline stealers myself, which is quite an honor. So thank you guys. I'm not going to be able to do the segues as good as Declan does, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see how it goes. So, the big news of the month, all of your sort of Marvel, DC, Disney news. 20th Century Fox has released a new trailer for Dark Phoenix.
Yes.
I watched it yesterday. Pretty impressed that they spoiled a massive part of the movie in the trailer, but actually made me want to see the movie a bit more. So
Yeah.
I feel like because most people knew that person wanted out, so they're like, you know what, let's just show it. Why not? We have
Yeah.
nothing to lose.
Yeah.
there you go. It'd be interesting if it's not actually her, but I mean, come on, like it seems pretty obvious.
Well, whose funeral would it be? In all
Otherwise,
sense?
yeah. Well, it's the franchise's funeral because it's the last one. R.I.P. What is it even called? What is the universe called? Is it just the X-Men film franchise?
X-Men universe probably.
Foxmen franchise? I don't know. Anyways, any other thoughts on the Dark Phoenix?
I'm just really excited for it.
Oh, you are?
It looks surprisingly good.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Just because I think I said this in our first episode, because the X-Men franchise has just always felt like something different. Maybe a couple of them have been bumps, but they just stand on their own to me, and I'm always looking forward to them, even if they don't measure up to the hype.
See, I'm excited to see if they just go like all the way because they know it is sort of the last one and just sort of just keep killing people, you know, like they just really, you know, end it in like a really strange way.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's had a long road to release, so I'll just see it come out.
When was it meant to come out? November last year?
But I think it was even before, it was like July and then they pushed it to November. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been pushed a few times. The one thing that I kept seeing on Reddit was that everyone was like, wow, this looks really similar to The Last Stand. It's like, well, it's basically a remake of The Last Stand
Yeah.
by the guy who wrote The Last Stand. It's
Yeah.
like, well, there you go.
No, I've never bought into the movies versions of the Cyclops Jean Grey romance, so.
Oh, well, at least he's, you know, a part of the movie a bit more significantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anyway.
Speaking of being sidelined in a romance, Kevin Feige has confirmed that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is actually using James Gunn's script. James Gunn, of course, being infamously pushed out of Disney because of some controversial tweets
From 10 years ago.
from 10 years ago. Anyways, just makes me angry.
Yeah.
But they confirmed that they are using James Gunn's scripts, which I think is what everyone wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because we've heard Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, all them say, oh yeah, they're using it, but part of me was like, yeah, they probably won't. But to hear Feige say it.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to rewrite it. Like, it'll probably end up being co-credited with somebody else.
Yeah.
But as long as they keep the bones of what his trilogy arc was meant to be,
Thank
I'll
God.
be happy.
At least his name's still on the poster, which is
Yeah.
nice. Interesting how that works, though, with sort of contracts and then... Because Disney's kicked him out, but, like, they're still using the script, so he still gets paid, but, like, he's probably already been paid.
Yeah.
Weird. Like...
Well, they probably signed
Or
like
if
a 3-picture deal or
Or if
something.
they're worried
Yeah.
about having his name up there, it's like it's going to be directed by so-and-so, and then the next thing will be a slide saying written by James Gunn, so it's like, why fire him in the first place?
Yeah, it's weird. But then again, it's like, he probably had a contract for like, you know, quite a few more movies following 3, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
So they probably had to pay him out a whole bunch of money when they kicked him out.
I think they
So
did,
he's probably doing alright, you know.
Yeah.
and they would have got paid a lot by Warner Brothers.
Oh. Do you reckon that's just, like, do you reckon they have him locked down for like a few movies, or it's just like a big
I don't know.
Suicide
I reckon-
Squad deal?
Well, they think he's big enough, sort of, that he could probably just, he's like James Bond, where he just signs on for one movie.
Yeah.
And he-
God, James Bond's gonna be so expensive now.
Oh yeah.
$2 billion in different franchises. I think he's the only one, right, that's done that? Like the only director that's had
In a
$2 billion
franchise.
films in different franchises.
yeah.
It would be.
That's crazy. Well, good job, James Bond, Australian. We're repping it. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I reckon that with Gunn they probably just gave him like, they were like, hey, here's our slate. What do you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then he just chose Suicide Squad 2 in the most like unexpected turn of last year.
Yeah.
But anyways, speaking of unexpected turns in the DC world, The Trench, an Aquaman spin-off, is getting its own movie. Why? I mean, cool. I mean, they obviously, you know, Aquaman made $1 billion, but it's like, really?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Like, definitely a cool part of Aquaman. One of the coolest scenes. But,
Don't need a movie just about them.
yeah, it's curious how they'll do it. Because they can't be the main characters, because they're just
They're
some...
just
Yeah.
villains.
They're
What,
just
is it
mindless
just-
creatures, sort of, aren't they?
Are we gonna get Temuera Morrison just like fishing out, and it's like, oh no, it's the trench, and then he just has to find a way to get out of it.
I hope it's just like this ultimate like 90s like sort of adventure horror movie, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, you know, sort of Indiana Jones, where it's like, we're gonna go get this thing from the trench, and then, you know, like, it's something, it's got like a cool premise that isn't just, you know,
Yeah.
about the monsters. Because I think it either is one of two options. One is that they couldn't get Aquaman 2 to release early enough, so they were like, what else can we throw out there Aquaman related? And instead of going for, you know, a Mira movie or an Aqualad movie or like a Black Manta movie, they're like, you know what?
The trench.
The Trench. Even Graham McTavish's, like, you know, whatever, what was his name? Alan. You know the main king from like way back? You know the guy who destroyed. You know he has the armor. What's his name? The guy in this guy. You probably don't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about, right? Like the Atlantean king originally. You know what I mean?
I have no clue what his name is. I'm stumped.
Atlanta or something. No, that's
King Atlan.
King Atlan.
Oh,
It's a combination of Atlantis that's just shortened. But anyways, I would have loved a movie of just like the downfall of Atlantis. You know, like
it's like seeing that world just go down is like, wow.
Yeah, that would have been great. But instead we get the trench. But yeah, so there's either two options. One is they just pull it out of their ass and like, okay, the trench, let's give it a movie. Or someone pitched them a really cool idea. So I'm hoping it's the latter. But we'll see what happens.
Or they're just trying to apply like what they did with the Conjuring franchise. Aquaman is the Conjuring, and the Trench is like Annabelle or the Nun.
Give me a
I think
lighthouse
it's
movie.
James Wan and Walter Hamada they had a DC.
Yeah. But it's just weird when you look at like DC sort of like when you eventually look at the movies that have been released, it's like, you know, Wonder Woman, Shazam, all the big characters, and then the Trench has its own DC movie.
DC's the Trench.
Yeah, it's like it's just such a bad title as well. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But luckily, Aquaman 2 will be coming to sort of save that Aqua franchise in December 2022, which seems like a while away, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. King.
Okay, well, moving on then. Glad you guys are excited.
I don't know.
What do you reckon? I think his hand's going to get cut off, right? That's sort of the big thing they can do. They've given him the suit. I think the next movie's going to be his hand getting cut off by Black Manta.
I suppose they gave him the hand in the comics because, you know, he's tough, but he doesn't like look tough. They want to, whereas Jason Momoa's already scary, kind of.
Give Jason Momoa like a hook hand. So cool. Definitely going to happen. Alright, look forward to that. Prediction, you heard it right here. His hand's getting cut off by Black Manta. Alright, moving on from that. Still in the DC realm. Will Smith has exited James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2. But I hope he just puts a totally random roster of this unknown characters like he did with Guardians.
But I hope he keeps like Amanda Waller, or just to make it just a little bit connected. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they either just need to commit to, or at least tell us, because they probably know at this point, but just tell us whether or not it's a sequel or a reboot, you know? Or if it's in, like, are these movies in the same universe, like the Batman? Is it, like, will it still have, like, you know, J.K. Simmons's Gordon, or, like...
Because they keep saying, oh, we're not focused on a shared universe anymore. And it's like, okay, fair enough, but it's like you've still got Birds of Prey, 1 and 2, which are all still in the DCEU.
They just need Flashpoint to happen, and then you've got an easy explanation to just do whatever you want. It's just the problem is that the Flash movie keeps getting delayed, so they just need to get that out.
Just today they said it's getting another rewrite.
No,
bruh.
How hard, like, this movie is since 13, 14, they've had like 4 directors, it's just,
I went through all of high school during that time. We all did.
Yeah, that's so true. We're growing up with the Flash movie. Oh my god. It'll be our 21st birthday, it'll be released.
Gosh.
There you go. Speaking of, I don't know how you do this, man. How do I connect Will Smith to Lando Calrissian? Other than the
I was going to make a joke, but I wasn't.
Colours.
Yeah. I suppose. Well,
They're both charismatic people. Done.
speaking of charisma,
Yeah.
Lando Calrissian only has a small role in Star Wars Episode 9.
That's just
Where did that come from? What's the source on that one? Is it just sort of a rumor, or
I don't know what the sources,
just came
It was
up?
just a headline steal.
One of the cool things actually came out. There's been actually a lot of leaks recently around Episode 9,
Those
including
costumes.
you saw them? Awesome. Yeah, there's a big leaked thing with about, I don't know, it's probably like 12 images of pretty much every significant character in the movie and their costume. And I mean, obviously it's spoilers. There's some spoiler things in there. It revealed who certain characters are, like what's his name from Lost, Dominic Monaghan, and Richard E. Grant. You get to see what they actually look like in the movie.
I haven't even seen this.
But it's a
Keep
big
up with the
leak,
Star Wars
so
stuff.
I
It's
avoid it if you don't want any spoilers. But yeah, Lando's costume looks pretty mint.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm excited about.
Should we talk about his costume? It's not really a spoiler. I think it looks very similar to Donald Glover's from Solo, which is very cool.
It basically is
Yeah.
Donald
Yeah.
Glover's costume. And who knows if, like, this could just all be concept art that's not in the
Yeah.
final film, but
Yeah.
Because you can change it anytime.
yeah, but based on what we've seen of Rey in that sort of wrapped photo where they're all hugging,
Oh, yeah.
it's the same
Yeah.
costume there, and they're all wearing the same thing. So I think that these are the final sort of costumes.
Yeah. But yeah, but I was disappointed when I first heard it, but then I was like, that makes sense because, you know, it's not about him at all.
No, and Lando's best when he only shows up every now and again, you know, like you gotta
Yeah.
sort of keep him, you know.
Watch him come back to just die.
He's not, please no. I mean, it's guaranteed, at least in my head, it might not actually happen, but it's guaranteed in my head that the Falcon's gotta go, right? So who's gonna go out with the Falcon? Who's gonna fly the Falcon to its death?
Rey, that's her ship.
It's gotta be Lando and Chewie, right?
I'll be down. Hell yeah.
One last flight, you know. They gotta do it. We'll see what happens. Speaking of Star Wars, I guess, this is a pretty lazy one. Let's see if I can think of another one and we'll edit it. Hang on.
Speaking of Southpaw,
Yeah, legit.
Speaking of big movies,
speaking of what I was just talking about,
I honestly can't think of one. But anyways, yeah, speaking of what I was just talking about with Star Wars, Benioff and Weiss, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to say it.
Game of Thrones.
This beautiful TV series. They're doing a trilogy, which I don't think is news though. Did we know this or did
Well,
we
no,
not
they said
know?
it was announced they were doing a series of
Okay.
films, so the boss of HBO accidentally said, so they're finishing season 8 and they're going off to do their 3 Star Wars films or whatever.
I guess that makes sense. I mean,
Like what?
the Star Wars likes trilogies. It'd be
Oh, yeah.
weird if it wasn't 3, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I wonder what it would be if they're going to come up with something new or they're going to adapt something.
A lot of people are saying Old Republic, which would make sense given their sort of track record.
Yeah.
My question is like, how do these talks happen with them? Like, did they basically just go to them and say, hey, we'd like you to make something Star Wars related, do whatever you want? Or did they have an idea for a franchise and then go to them? Or did they go to Star Wars and say, hey, Kathy, give us a movie? We'll find out, I guess, in 2025 when the movie comes out. But
gosh.
yeah, I'm excited. You guys excited?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why
I was
not?
a fan of Game of Thrones, which is a great show.
I wouldn't know.
I'm just excited for them to move beyond the Skywalker franchise and just
Yeah.
get out there and just do weird stuff, because I think we've been so limited to what we have. We're keen to just go out
And not just
explore.
a source, the storyline we know, but an era
Yeah,
of the original trilogy, which is annoying.
it's gonna be fun. But I'm way more excited for Rian Johnson's trilogy, since The Last Jedi is a brilliant movie. So yeah, speaking of what I just said,
Speaking of
it's still
trilogies.
happening. Of course it is. Like, I mean, they're not going to cancel it. I think that I'm glad that they gave it space with Knives Out. Yeah, I'm super excited for whatever he has to show us.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of The Last Jedi, but if you see his like films like Looper and that, he is a good director.
And he has good ideas too.
So it'll be cool to see him come up with his own thing instead of ruining the characters.
Yeah, I think that's what people are keen for. Is just he gets to do his sort of classic reconstruction and deconstruction of the franchise, but without
Ruining it.
the constraints of the Skywalker
Wow.
saga.
I thought we moved past this.
Some people will forever
It's
hold it.
2019.
It's 2019.
Let's talk
yeah.
about something else.
Speaking of talking about something else, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is coming to Disney Plus. Instead of being a movie, reportedly. I think this is a weird move.
I don't know how to, because it's like, I've always dreamed of it being a movie that I can see in cinemas. But at the same time, I'm like, but then I could get like a 6-hour movie on Disney Plus and have a really good story. But then at the same time, I'm like, no, I just want Obi-Wan swinging a lightsaber in the desert for 2 hours.
I just feel like That's what I mean, is like there's not quite enough material there to even fit 2 hours in my head, so it's like doing a 6-episode series seems like a lot. But to me, if this is true, then that confirms that he is leaving Tatooine, because you just can't do 6 episodes if you're just on Tatooine. You got to have him go and do some missions online. So that's the interesting thing to me was, he left Tatooine during that time period. Other than that, of course, Disney, please give us Ewan McGregor. It's the only thing we want.
If there's one thing Star Wars fans can agree on, it's him as Obi-Wan back in some capacity, and they give us a Han Solo movie.
Maybe they've just been strategically waiting for him to get old enough, and that's just how it works.
Who knows?
There we go. Well, that rounds up the headline stealers.
Moving on to the big small news. Graphics. First up, Netflix is going to get a bunch of movies, or us who are not in America are going to get a bunch of movies that we don't have to see in cinemas.
Yeah.
Isn't it romantic? Starring Rebel Wilson, Shaft, the new one with Samuel L. Jackson, and Extremely Wicked, the Zac Efron Ted Bundy biopic movie, where we're getting them on Netflix instead of in cinemas. How do you feel about Netflix?
I didn't know, because I saw Isn't It Romantic pop up on Netflix
Yeah, I saw it the
yesterday,
other day,
and
yeah.
I was like, wait, what? I thought this was in
Yeah.
cinemas, and then quickly realized, it must have been an international
You
thing.
mean you don't follow Movies of the Future?
No, and then I saw it appear on Movies of the Future this morning. But yeah, I think that, it's weird how Netflix has just become, it's not a dumping ground, but it's almost like sort of, we're a bit worried about these, let's just make sure that we know that they'll be fine.
And it's interesting for Isn't It Romantic and Shaft, because they're both Warner Brothers movies. So what deals Warner Brothers struck with Netflix? But it's disappointing with Shaft, I feel.
I'm not happy with it at all. Not even coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't have Netflix, but because like sometimes you want to see just like a simple movie in the cinema. It's like you get a group of people together. Oh, you want to see Shaft in the cinema? Why not? That'll be a fun movie. The trailer looks really fun.
Yeah, it does.
And like I understand Extremely Wicked because obviously they want to tie that with the tapes.
Yeah.
Which is fair. But like even Isn't It Romantic? I'm like that would have done well, especially on Valentine's Day. Yeah. So I'm not a fan.
Yeah, like some movies it works really well, but I don't agree with some of those.
It's definitely a sign of how they think about the movie too, when it's just like, let's put it on Netflix overseas. It's like, we know it'll do alright in the US, but it's not really a big sell, and immediately it's cool because you're like, I can watch it as soon as it's out in cinemas. And then, which is weird because then I guess it's almost like, why not just release it on digital and, at the same time, because then people in the US with VPN can just watch the movie on Netflix instead of in cinemas. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. Like, does it go out on Blu-ray like here, but because it's on Netflix? How does it work?
Because Cloverfield Paradox just came out on DVD,
And the Annihilation is coming out soon.
so
Okay.
Yeah.
so it's like almost a year and a half, sort of.
Yeah, weird. It's weird how the deals work. But there you go. That's Netflix for you.
It'd be like that sometimes.
And next up, we've got the Kingsman prequel, Kingsman: The Great Game, delayed to February 2020, which isn't surprising because they hadn't started filming yet. The original release date was November, so.
Just makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Like when you guys told me, because I didn't know they were making the two. I only knew about the third one. I was kind of like, wait, what? Are they really going to manage to get these out in time?
Yeah.
Because it seems like a rushed schedule. So I'm glad that they're taking time.
It's got an awesome cast.
Oof.
It's got Ralph Fiennes, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Daniel Bruhl, Charles Dance, Stanley Tucci.
They're going hard with casts now. It's just how you got to sell a movie these days.
It's so worth it though, because it gets people talking.
Sounds good though. I'm keen. I'm glad that they're doing something different.
Paramount Pictures is developing a Power Rangers reboot because Hasbro, which has a deal with Paramount, bought Power Rangers, and so Paramount wants to do their own one.
I have a strong opinion about this.
Because
Because I love Power Rangers. I've watched it as a kid. I'm a Power Rangers fanboy.
I didn't know this about you. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
Oh, I love it. And
Give me the lowdown.
The first movie, while like it has its cheesy moments and moments of like teen cringe, but I just appreciate it as a Power Rangers fan. It's what I wanted, and they set up another one, and I like the cast. The cast too worked well together. They stood their own ground, and to see that they're having a reboot, it breaks my heart. It really does.
Yeah.
I was keen to see a second one.
Well, I heard good things about it. I still haven't watched it, but I watched a bit of it actually. I watched because I wanted to see what the hell Bryan Cranston was like as
Yeah.
whatever the computer is. Which is pretty cool. But yeah, I feel bad for you, man.
Thank you. It's a tough time. It's a trying time.
Press F to pay respects to all Power Rangers fans out there. But at least you're getting another movie. I mean, you could have just never gotten another film.
It's not the same, man.
Speaking of June, it's got an official release date of November next year.
Woo!
Yeah, should be good.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited, guys.
I'm keen for another Denis movie.
It's such a good cast. Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, Dave Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård,
And
Jason Momoa.
I hope that it encourages people to read the books too, because, I mean, as far as I've heard, shout out to Jacob Medler, the books are awesome. So, yeah, I guess it's a win, and hopefully it also pushes people to watch the movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen.
David Lynch.
Yeah, which I just hear is just a really weird movie. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I think that it gives me hope that they will be able to make the second part, like the sequel that they want to, because they've stacked the cast, and so I think that it will actually make money now.
I hope so.
I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
I think it feels weird because Denis Villeneuve was making a movie every year for like since 2011 or something, so it's been weird to have a year without. Yeah.
It'll be 2 years without it.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Well, I think it's going to make up for it. It's gonna be a good one.
But going on to some bad news, or I don't really care anymore. Fantastic Beasts 3, filming delayed, which means it'll be presumably release date delayed till 2021.
Yeah, skip.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're taking time to do it right.
Hopefully they get a
Expensive.
screenwriter to help J.K. Rowling.
Taking time to fix their mistakes.
Hopefully it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón, Oscar winner.
That'd be fantastic.
Comes back to the franchise.
Crimes of Grindelwald was so
boring.
Is
It's
it
so
Crimes of
nothing.
Grindelwald or Grindelwald?
Grindelwald.
Jude Law says it with a V,
Grindelwald.
but yeah.
Well, there you go.
Moving on to Bond 25, which has been delayed to April 2020, but that's okay because Rami Malek, Lupita Nyong'o, and Billy Magnussen could be joining the cast.
Hell yeah.
Rami Malek as the villain, Lupita Nyong'o as lead character, not a Bond girl, but just the main character.
As the new M.
And Billy Magnussen as a CIA agent. Did Jeffrey Wright die in Quantum of Solace?
No.
Or something?
Because they met up at that bar, and then he's just like, "I gotta get out of
Move your
here."
ass, James.
Oh no! And this is
disappointing.
Inspector because one was with that Italian woman. It was like, "My friend Felix will come pick you up."
Oh, no, I actually forgot about that. Yeah, they need to bring him back.
He's like, oh, it was so good.
I watched Casino Royale last night.
Oh,
Because like it was just on, and it was so good. Like it's still my second favorite movie ever made. And
wow.
Yeah, no joke. It's The Dark Knight and then it's Casino Royale. Then it's The Incredibles.
Damn.
It's my top 3. But it's so good, and I was watching it the whole time, and I just know every line, and even though I do, it's just so much. It's just better when I hear it every time.
But yeah, it's disappointing they could be bringing in a new CIA agent, and they could have Jeffrey Wright.
I'm glad he's kind of blown up. He's big business with Westworld and there was something else he was in there.
He was in Game Night as well.
Game Night, yeah, that's right.
Oh, I was going to mention movies he's in, but I might say before I recommended segment.
Ooh, okay.
It's another Netflix movie.
We should just start a segment of what's Jeffrey Wright doing, you know?
What? But
Where is he today?
Bond 125 being delayed to April made Fast and Furious 9 run away to May, which is
Interesting.
not that big a change, but
I mean, it's kind of interesting that they're launching Fast and Furious earlier in the year as well. But there you go.
well, they've always
They usually come out in April.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, around that time.
I guess not then. My bad. But the thing I am excited about, or the thing I'm interested about with 125 was it seemed like, we'll probably find out after the fact, but they had a script that was very like Spectre sequel that
Yeah.
sort of wrapped up the franchise and had, you know, Blofeld and Madeline Swan and everything and sort of did it on Her Majesty's Secret Service ending for Daniel Craig's character. And then they didn't really like the script, and so they went to Danny Boyle, and then it looked like he was going to do a totally different film that was sort of disconnected, and then that didn't work, so they've gone back to the Spectre sequel, and so I'm kind of glad in the sense that they're wrapping up all the loose ends from the other 4 movies, because they are bringing back, but it's weird because, and it's called Shatterhands, which was like a Blofeld reference and everything, or like at least the working title is.
Yeah.
So, but who plays Blofeld? Like Christoph Waltz is like doesn't want to do it.
Which is kind of disappointing because they set him up so much, and I was like,
Yeah.
just have one movie.
They look so well together too.
I reckon he's in the movie. They're just keeping it
I hope so. I really
under
hope
wraps.
so.
But then it's Rami Malek's the villain, so I'd rather Rami Malek be the main villain.
And Oscar winner Rami Malek would sign on for a fake sort of Ben Kingsley in Iron Man 3.
Oh god, that's a topic for another time.
Maybe they just do what they did with Blofeld originally, where it's just a different actor every movie.
Yeah,
Rami Malek playing Blofeld.
Well, Christoph Waltz was the Ben Kingsley type Mandarin, and Rami Malek is the real Blofeld.
I just can't believe they pretended for so long he wasn't Blofeld. It was so obvious.
Yeah.
And they were like, his name is Hans or whatever.
Yeah.
God, please. Anyways.
It's just like Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Moving on to A Quiet Place 2 with John Krasinski returning to direct, and Emily Blunt and the 2 kid actors also returning to star.
So wait, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't
Have you
seen
seen
Quiet
it?
Place. Okay, sweet. That's good, because I was about to spoil the shit out of it. What's his name is dead, right?
John Krasinski.
He's dead in the first one, right?
Sacrificed
I remember.
himself.
Right, so Emily Blunt is the main character.
Yeah.
And he's come back to direct, which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm open to it, but I would have been fine if it was just a solo type movie.
At first, when they announced it, I'm like, why? But it could be cool.
Yeah.
If they sort of meet up with another family or something, it could be interesting to see.
Like how interactions go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely potential.
Yeah. So I'm kind of keen. But are you keen for the Hulk Hogan movies starring Chris Hemsworth?
Not really.
I don't care at all about this. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Well,
Being directed by Todd Phillips.
Joker Man.
oh wait, no, you seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. That slipped through. Okay, I'm keen now. You've already sold me. I'm a big Todd Phillips fan.
Dragon and I just watched The Hangover for the first
Yeah,
time.
that-
For the first time.
Yeah, haven't seen
For
it.
the first. It's so good, man.
It was really,
Such a good boys movie.
It holds a place in my heart because it came out in when? When did it come out?
2009?
Something like that. And I remember it being so edgy, and there was like a couple of kids at school that had seen it.
Oh yeah.
And then I remember it was a big deal because there was like the uncut version, which was R, but it was like the anime version. I remember being like 9 or whatever, or 10, whenever it came out on DVD, and just being like, I gotta see it, Mom, can you let me see it? And she's like, no. And then like her and Dad watching it on TV, and me like trying to watch it, and just like, oh man. So that movie it has this sort of thing when I finally got to watch it. It was like, it wasn't quite as like edgy as I thought it was as a 9-year-old, but like it's just a big moment. So I'm glad you guys are with it. Are you gonna watch the sequels?
Like part of me, like I want to, just because I like these characters a lot, but I don't want to because that was such a good movie, and I feel like it could possibly tank the first one for me.
Have you seen? You would have seen the sequels.
I've never seen the third one. I've only seen the second one. Yeah.
Downhill?
Yeah,
Just no.
I'll have to watch the third one.
gosh.
If you guys watch them, I'll come over and watch it.
Yeah, we'll have a live viewing. That'd be good.
You need to see this. The Hangover part.
Just close up to our faces.
In utter shock, it's like,
That's funny. The thing that struck me, and I know we're going to move on because we're running long, but Bradley Cooper's character is like just kind of nothing really in the movie. Like he's cool, but
he's
like
a cool guy.
I remember him being like so much more of a character than when I watched it again. It's like, he kind of doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of just there. But anyways,
It was cool.
Zach Galifianakis is like the heart of that movie. It's so good.
Yeah.
How did we get onto that? What are we talking about?
Let's talk about something completely different. Transformers. Bumblebee was a reboot of the franchise.
Obviously.
Pretty, yeah,
If you've
obvious.
been-
Which was cool.
If you've seen Bumblebee,
which
If
was
you've
great.
been following continuity,
yeah.
it's quite clear that the Autobots arrive.
But it's
in
nice that they
Transformers.
Confirmed it.
confirmed it. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see where the franchise goes because Bumblebee did make 450 mil worldwide, which is low for a Transformers movie, but it's a good starting point for a new franchise.
Still wasn't a huge fan of Bumblebee. Like it was
Okay.
it was better,
Yeah.
but it still wasn't like
You mean you didn't like John Cena as the villain?
I'm shooting you. I'm funny. I'm John Cena.
You do.
There's a door in my way.
Yeah, we know. That's the
Uh,
best line in the movie.
Speaking of franchises getting rebooted, Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney's trying to reboot it with the writers of Deadpool, Brett Reese and Paul Wernick.
Who I have previously called Rhett Wernick and Paul Reese.
It's probably that, I don't know.
Good.
Dave left the project, so
I'm not excited anymore.
I've only ever seen the first Pirates, so I don't really care about
See, this is the
another
thing.
reboot.
You've watched all of the new movies that come out that Declan and I haven't seen. Like you've seen every movie that's out in cinemas at the moment, but you haven't seen
the old ones.
Yeah, you've missed so many like older movies.
Yeah.
There you go. Fair enough.
speaking of more dead sort of movies, World War Z 2.
See, I was reading up on the World War Z 2 sort of and World War Z sort of history because when this got announced, they got the sort of cancellation. I was like, what, really? Come on. And so I went down a rabbit hole of sort of how the first one got made and the scripts that went through and how Brad Pitt got attached. And then it's really weird that David Fincher was doing a sequel, and especially as a sequel to like a sort of a popcorn action movie like World War Z. And it seems like the original script, which you can read online, the original drafts written by J. Michael Straczynski, was like this really like it was probably going to be like the best zombie movie ever made. Like it was phenomenal. Everyone who's ever read that script and reviewed it has said that it's awesome. And then they sort of changed it over time, and it was that script that got Brad Pitt involved and got all the directors. And it slowly got changed, and then they reshot the ending like after they'd finished filming and did a whole bunch of changes to it. And so I think in my head the reason it makes sense that Fincher wanted to do is A, Brad Pitt, but B, because they still wanted to do what that original script was of just this really awesome, historical, dramatic, sort of world-encompassing sort of zombie movie that really was character-driven. As multiple, it was like an ensemble piece, really. So to me, that was what the sequel was going to be, and I was really excited for that because it sounded really cool.
Yeah. Well, I still really liked the first World War Z. I thought it was pretty cool. I was really excited for the sequel, and it's a shame that they can apparently budget issues they were looking at. Oh well.
And it's been a long time since that first one. Like
2013. So.
It's been 6 years.
Whoa, weird. I'm old.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go, R.I.P. I hope it returns in some form, but I mean, also just keen for Fincher to just do something else.
What was the last one?
Gone Girl.
Wow.
It's been a while, because he's been doing the TV shows.
Mindhunter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't get through Mindhunter.
I really liked it actually. Like it is a bit, like I see what you mean. It's a little bit slow and sort of serialized.
I watched the first episode and I just had no interest of going back because it's great. Anyway, continuing on with disappointing things. Will Smith as the genie. had our first look at him in the new trailer for Aladdin.
That's hot.
Yikes.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
That's hot.
I don't think we can possibly add anything to
That
the
hasn't been
conversation.
said.
Yeah, that hasn't been turned into a meme. So
So just insert a picture.
Insert Will
boom.
Smith. That's
Appreciate
hot.
it for a couple of seconds and
just it's pop. There you go. That's Will Smith as the genie. I'm actually, man, I'm really excited to go and watch Aladdin and just be really drunk and just like. Actually, that might be really creepy. That might make it worse. I might have like a panic attack. What is this creature? We'll see what happens.
yeah,
Oh,
Still gonna make like all the money though. So.
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I still think
who knows?
it's
With like the
Aladdin.
3 remakes, Dumbo, Lion King, and Aladdin, one of them's gotta not do well.
It's gonna be
Surely.
Dumbo, which is
It'll be
gonna
good.
make me cry. But
You know, it looks so good. Anyway,
Trailers. We had the first trailer for Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Woo!
I actually really enjoyed that trailer.
Really?
I'm actually really looking forward to I it. have to do my impression. I'm the next stage in human evolution.
I thought it was absurd, the whole
For a-
sci-fi element.
For a moment there, Dragon, you were the sexiest man alive. For a moment. Idris Elba. The next
I-
James Bond.
I just...
Like, I know I'm going to have fun with it. No
Yeah, it's
doubt.
gonna
But
be
it just like how off
Jason
the rails.
Statham and
Just
The Rock. But
So as we were talking about when we worked out that the audio crashed, I'm actually a big fan of The Fate of the Furious. I think that it's actually one of the better Fast and Furious movies because it fully embraces what it is.
Oof.
And so yeah, the relationship between Shaw and Hobbs is great.
that was good
in
in
bright
Fate.
spots of the Fate
But,
of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious was...
I mean, look, the one thing I can't
Garbage.
forgive that still really hurts me is that everyone just forgives Shaw for just murdering
For
Han.
Han?
Yeah.
Don't understand how that can possibly make sense within the context of the universe. But the series is so far past like reasonable reactions or reasonable anything really. So yeah, they have a cool dynamic, and I'm keen to see
Including
it.
stopping explosions, like...
Just gonna take that out of context. It's just you guys like dabbing.
Yep.
Oh no. Vin Diesel dabs at an exploding submarine.
Colorized.
Title of the
That's
episode.
how it started.
Fever, the rage.
Moving on to bigger and better things. Shaft, starring
Yes.
Samuel Jackson. We had the first trailer for that, which was... I
So
liked
so
it.
excited.
Explain to me, is this... from what I had heard previously, it's actually like bringing all of the different
Yeah.
Shaft movies together.
So
Yeah.
you have like OG Shaft, Richard Roundtree, and then you have...
Was that a TV series? he was
no,
in?
there was a movie. There was
Okay.
like 3 of them, and then there was a TV show. And then
Cool.
there was 2000 Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson, who's the nephew of original Shaft. And then this new Shaft is the son of Samuel L. Jackson. So it's 3 generations of Shaft.
So what actually is the Shaft franchise
I
about?
think he's just a PI, private investigator.
Yeah. Just a
Just doing some
silly
things.
fun.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I think it was
Fun.
during like, I think the first one came out during like the black exploitation like sort of era with like with Superfly and all of that. So pretty iconic.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer, but it looked good, and it was one of those like I'd rather just watch the movie when it comes out than
It's
watch the
such
trailer.
it gets you. I got me excited, like the
Yeah.
music and just
Yeah, just
really
it
keen
just
for
looks
it.
fun. Pet Cemetery.
mm.
They gave
okay.
it.
Mm.
Don't say anything right now, other than if you thought it was good, because I haven't watched the trailer. I heard that the trailer does a bit of a twist on what the book was and what the original movie was, that there's something different about the plot. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to not get it spoiled.
I haven't read the books and I know nothing about like
Neither.
Pet Cemetery. At
Okay,
all.
don't say
But I
anything
won't-
about what's in the trailer.
I
though,
won't say
in
what's in it,
case.
but it was just like, you're gonna show that in the context in the context of that movie. It's
Yeah.
like they
It felt
they
like-
showed a twist in the trailer, and it was just like,
Yeah,
If-
see, I wish I'd seen it so I could talk about it,
Yeah.
because maybe that twist is something that's from the book and the
Yeah.
original movie.
It like it could be halfway through the movie. I don't know, and it could be like a big part of it, but I don't know.
See, I could talk about the book, and I mean, I in my head felt like everybody knew the big plot points of Pet Sematary before you go and you read it. Even
Yeah.
when you read the book, Stephen King basically spoils the whole book in his introduction to the book.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
it's you kind of know where it's going. Obviously, I haven't seen the trailer though, so maybe the twist you're talking about is different than the one that's in the book.
Yeah.
But if it's the twist I am thinking about, then yeah, everyone kind of knew that. But I guess for people that didn't, it's a bit of a spoil.
Yeah. And then the final trailer, Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic starring Taron Egerton. I think
I'm
it
excited
looks
for it
amazing.
too.
It looks pretty much like Bohemian Rhapsody, but
Well, I think that goes to show because, like I said before, Bohemian Rhapsody felt more like a Dexter Fletcher movie in terms of editing and like a lot of like just the movie's vibe, and that's exactly how I felt with Rocket Man and this other movie, Eddie the Eagle. So they feel like the same movie, but nevertheless, I'm just excited for Rocket Man as well.
See how much money it makes.
Yeah.
especially compared to Bohemian, which made $861 million.
That's just chump change. I can't believe it didn't crack $1 billion.
Really?
I'm kidding. That was sarcasm.
I was like, what?
That's an insane amount of money, especially for a music biopic. Especially a music biopic that is literally just the most formulaic of all of. It's literally just like there's a brilliant video by Patrick Willems on YouTube that just goes through the movie biopic formula, and you suddenly realize they are just the same movie with just different characters every time. So let's hope that Rocket Man spices it up, which it seems to be doing with its fantasy, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's breaking the mold a bit.
Hopefully. But Taron Egerton singing looks pretty impressive. So
Is he actually singing?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
it, wait, really?
100% him
So it's
singing.
not the like Freddie
You-
Mercury dub.
No,
Wow.
it's all him. Yeah.
Because I think Taron Egerton is really passionate about singing too, and he sang an Elton John song in that movie Sing.
Oh,
animated one.
okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
But
awesome.
yeah, they released it behind like a featurette thing, the day before the trailer, and it shows him singing
And playing the piano. And
so all the singing you hear in the trailer is Taron Egerton.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
So he's
There you go.
a really talented singer.
Alrighty. Topic of the month. Graphic. Moving in. But basically, we're here to talk about the Academy Awards. Oh, there we go. Is that from LA?
Yep.
Awesome. Which was also where the Academy Awards took place. The 91st. And basically, it was a complete shit show for the entire year leading up to it.
Yeah.
But the show itself was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
I think it worked well without a host.
Yeah, well, let's sort of go through. I mean, it's kind of hard to structure it, but I reckon we'll talk about what we thought about the show, and then we'll go through sort of the awards,
Yeah.
basically from
Best picture down.
Yeah.
Or jumping around, who knows.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
see.
I've got a list of them. If you need it, you probably got it up there.
Yeah.
So we'll just go through the awards. So yeah, what did you actually think of the show itself?
I watched the second half of it because I got home from uni, and I watched I thought it was entertaining. Yeah, I got to see the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga performance, which was quite
Controversial.
It was hot.
It was. I thought it was all just really cool. And they had a lot more time to play like clips from movies,
Like
and,
especially the best pictures.
like a host is cool, but in today's climate, they just make Trump jokes or political correctness jokes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not funny. Like, I watched Andy Samberg and Sandra Oh's Golden Globes. I was just, personally, I just found it not funny at all.
There you go. Cool.
So, I think at least for the next couple of years, I'd be happy with no host because, yeah.
I also think that because they have no host, all the presenters, like, they don't feel like there's a pressure to be like, oh, I don't want to take this show away from the host.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, they have their moment to shine. It's like, oh, that presenter was memorable. And if they had a host and they, like, really outdid the host, I don't know. It just would be like kind of weird. But yeah,
It's an interesting point. Yeah.
yeah, I haven't seen like the whole show, but like I watched some highlights of it. I'm like, yeah, this traveled along pretty good, and for the year leading up to this show, what they did was pretty good. Yeah, and I was happy with it.
And the ratings went up. And
Yeah, I know.
I imagine a lot of them would have been like, oh, I wonder how crap this is going to be.
See, that's really interesting because I'll go with what you said first, which was the sort of presenters getting room to breathe.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that because it wasn't just them coming up, they said a little bit and they do the awards. Like,
Yeah.
they got to do some different stuff. Like, my favorite part of the show, which is, I mean, probably saying something, which is a bit weird, was when Key came down from the
with
ceiling
umbrella?
as Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
I was like, what? Like, why? And you wouldn't get that. Like, typically that'd be the host,
Yeah.
or something. And so the presenters all kind of got little skits and like Melissa McCarthy's like
I saw that.
outfits and stuff. Like the actors got the presenters rather, they got some interesting sort of, you know, comedic bits instead of just reading out the nominees. So I preferred that, really.
I really enjoyed the show. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing was because of how bad it had been leading up to it, I almost didn't want to watch it as a sort of almost like a protest of just like, you guys have just really been just messing up. I'm just not going to watch it. And then I started watching a highlight reel, and it opened up with the Queen performance. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm watching the whole thing now. So I sat through the whole thing, and it was really good. And I honestly totally forgot that there was no host until like just before the end. And I was like, actually, I think it was literally at the end when Julianne Moore closed out the show after giving the best picture. I was like, oh yeah, usually the host does that, but she did that. And I was like, oh yeah, there's no host. So yeah, I think as far as hosts go, just don't do it. Just have.
Yeah, it was more exciting opening with Queen rather than Jimmy Kimmel cracking some jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing against Jimmy Kimmel. I like Jimmy Kimmel, but Queen.
It was awesome.
So Green Book, Best Picture.
Did you guys see Green Book?
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen Green Book. You're the only one. So really, you're the only one that can tell us.
This hinges on you.
Green Book is obviously the most Oscar baity out of the pile, I feel, but like it was just the most obvious, and I think it deserves it, but I would have liked to see it go to something a little more unconventional, like The Favourite, because my money was on either Roma or The Favourite, and when I saw that Roma won Best Foreign Film, I was like, maybe they won't give Best Picture to Roma, because as if they're gonna give like the two like sort of best movies to Roma.
Yeah, it's usually one of the screenwriting winners that end up winning Best Picture. So I was like, Black Klansman maybe.
Yeah,
I wish that would have been great.
Did you hear that Spike Lee?
Yeah,
I think that is just disgusting. I don't care
just
how
poor
much
sportsmanship,
and
it's so
like,
unprofessional.
And it's not even a game. Like we're here to celebrate film. Oh, Green Book.
I think he's just still livid that he lost like in 1990 to Driving Miss Daisy.
I heard that and I was like, that made me go through sort of the rabbit hole of all the Green Book, like people not liking it and saying that it wasn't true and the whole family thing. And so I can understand from my perspective why he would do that, especially because it's Spike Lee. Like he's a character.
Yeah.
Which is why one of my other favorite moments from the show was when he won. And the whole Samuel L. Jackson
that was good
moment, which would have been so awkward if he hadn't. And Samuel L. Jackson had said that thing of like, "You're gonna win,
mother."
Yeah, it would have been great. But I mean, it would have been terrible. I mean, but a moment nonetheless. But when hearing him run out, I was like, I get it. It's Spike Lee. He didn't even go to the Oscars the last few years because of the Oscars so wide, and the fact that he was even there. And won something was pretty cool. So I mean, I get it. It's obviously dumb,
understandable, but just very poor character.
Yeah.
Well, Spike Lee's Spike Lee.
Yeah.
There you go. Great outfit too.
And he didn't win Best Directing either. That went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma.
I see. Actually, what you were going to say before about Roma not winning, has a foreign language film ever won Best Picture?
I don't
doubt it.
The only thing that comes close to me is The Artist, because I know that movie speaks like they speak in French or something in it, but it's also English, so I guess it's a hybrid. But that's the closest thing from recent memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Roma.
Roma.
Alfonso
No, that's
Cuarón.
something else. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're going through the awards.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me just get them.
I haven't seen it, but I put money on, like, not actual money, but like I thought Alfonso Cuarón would win it.
Yeah.
Even though I wanted Yorgos to win it for The Favourite.
Which is really, like such a boldly directed movie, that one.
Yeah.
Like, it was really interesting
Yeah.
how they did that.
And Olivia Colman winning for The Favourite.
Awesome.
I was so
well
happy
deserved.
about this.
Broadchurch, man.
That's
That's the.
I haven't seen The Favourite, but I was like, Miller!
Miller. Miller, we've got him. Miller, fucking Miller. 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 Miller.
Yeah. Miller.
She is such a good actress.
Yeah, she is. She's
It's,
so good.
and it's like all the American sort of outlets are like, ooh, who's Olivia Colman type thing. I'm like,
Well, her next role is as another queen in
Yeah, The Crown.
The Crown. So she's just on the the queen streak.
I just find it ironic how all four, like, the best actor, actress, supporting actors, supporting actresses have been on TV or are going to be on TV. I think that's just great.
Just how it goes, yeah. Keen to see what kind of boost Mr. Robot Season 4 gets based on Rami Malek, because that show is still, like, probably my favorite show, like, continuing at the moment. On TV, and so, I hope that it gets more viewers because it deserves it.
Yeah.
Even in its last season.
Yeah, because our friend Heath was saying season 3 is, like, amazing. And
the whole show.
And the ratings have just gone.
Oh yeah, it's at its sort of lowest. So I'm glad that they didn't cancel it. Like,
Hopefully-
they got to be so happy now. They're like, oh,
We got a best actor.
We can put Oscar-winning
starring Oscar winner.
Plus, everyone loves him as well. Even if he hadn't won,
Yeah.
like, the show still would have.
If you didn't love him from Mr. Robot, you loved him from Night at the Museum.
Yeah, so true.
So yeah, but I think his was a deserved win for Bohemian Rhapsody.
I mean, to me, the best actor was still Christian Bale.
Yeah.
But
I
Rami
agree.
Malek, I'm a big Mr. Robot fan, so I couldn't help but be happy that he won.
After seeing Green Book, I would have liked it to see go to Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah,
he's really
cool.
good in it, but I wanted Christian Bale to win it. But still,
I thought it was pretty funny for the clips they played for each nominee, and Christian Bale's clip was like, you know, him doing some amazing scene or whatever, and then for Rami Malek's clip, it was him singing Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time. I'm like, he's acting, but he's not really acting in it. It's just the fake voiceover. It's like, why didn't they show the scene where he was
like in the
coming
rain.
out with AIDS to
the band,
or something where he's actually acting instead of the fake
piano.
Yeah, I was like, oh, unfair.
Oh well. I wish Vice had gotten more awards. I know that obviously it was pretty mixed. Like some people didn't like it. Out of all of the Oscar nominees, that was like my favorite. So I kind of wish it had gotten a few nods, but at least it won best makeup and
I know
hairstyle.
Drag and I have a different opinion to Vice.
yeah, but I still think it deserved a lot of awards.
Have we talked about it?
Yeah.
Have we talked about it since
No,
you saw
not
it?
with you on.
What did you think?
That was so
Not with you.
Not with you.
What did you think? Because I don't think we talked about it.
I didn't really like it that much.
Ah, damn.
I think I liked.
I
it
thought
more second
all
time.
the acting was incredible, and I thought like this overall story, the true story. I thought it was all just a bit. I don't know. It jumped back and forth so much. I'm like, you don't need to do. And then
that fishing thing, like where he's walking through the water, like that just cut.
Yeah.
It's just got some random things.
I thought it was like going to best editing, for instance. I was like, it won't win because Vice seems to be sort of neglected at the Oscars. But to me, it was the best editing. And I know the editing was what some people had problems with.
I actually, because I have two lists. I had a list of who I thought would win.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I had a list of who I wanted to win. I actually put Vice as editing. I wanted it to win.
But what did you think would win?
I thought... Favorite. I thought The Favorite would win. Yeah.
See, because to me, when you look at editing, it's like the only movie that comes to mind where I actually thought about the editing and like distinctly was like, oh, this is real editing was Vice.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if I went back and watched any of those other ones, I'd be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like, what actually won that? Was it
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, there you go.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Best supporting actor went to Mahershala Ali.
Yes.
Green Book.
Again.
Well deserved.
He's tied with Denzel Washington for the only African American actor to win an Oscar twice, which
Not
is
bad.
Yeah.
impressive. Seeing it's only like the past couple years he's become a star.
His best movie of 2018 was still
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You got it.
Yeah. Regina King for Best Supporting Actress. I haven't seen If Beale Street Could Talk, but
I did. It's pretty slow. I didn't really enjoy it like as much like as I sort of wanted to. But her performance is really good.
Yeah,
like
I've
the two
seen-
things that save that movie are the performances
And the score.
and the score. Yeah.
And the cinematography. I thought it was just a gorgeous movie. As
Yeah.
Well. And
It
I-
just
yeah.
it wasn't that engaging, and it sort of the characters are the same at the end as they are at
Like
the
there's a
start.
point where just slow is too slow. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
well, what do you think about Black Panther winning Best Original Score?
Fuck yeah, Ludwig Göransson is fucking awesome. Dude is such a G.
After watching If Beale Street Could Talk, I wish they got it, but like Black Panther still had a pretty good score. I'm
Yeah.
still livid that First Man didn't get a nomination for it.
Yeah.
That's just my thing, but
Yeah,
it is what it
yeah.
is. So
Legit, any of those movies could have won, and I wouldn't have minded.
yeah,
Like,
I would have been
all of them.
happy.
Like I remember watching the show, and they were going through all of the movies, and they were playing parts of each soundtrack, and
Yeah.
I was like, each one I was like, that should win. Wait, no, that should win. Wait, no, that should win. And
Yeah.
like every time I was like, oh yeah, like so many memorable musical scores this year. So
Yeah.
I just wish Spider-Verse had been nominated, but
Shallow won Best Original Song. I think.
Not surprising for me.
Yeah.
For me,
Well deserved as well.
it's kind of ironic that it's called Shallow, but it's really quite a good song.
Yeah. Black Klansman winning Best Adapted Screenplay.
good.
Glad it won something. Yeah.
I'm glad it won, so Samuel L. Jackson didn't feel
Yeah.
awkward giving someone else the award.
So
there you
Spike
go.
Lee couldn't get too grumpy. That he and then Best Original Screenplay, Green Book. So I've kind of
Just gotta
always
watch it.
I've kind of always been annoyed how Best Picture and Best one of the screenplays they get like both of them.
To me,
Unlike
it
just-
seemed like they have been giving it to the movie that should have won but can't. Like Get Out won screenplay, and then before it was what was the year before? I can't remember. But it seemed like they were giving it to like, well, we can't give you best picture, but we'll give you best screenplay.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like, what? Well, all right. Is that camera still on? Okay, sweet. Just oh, fuck it.
Best Visual Effects going to First Man.
I'm glad that it got a shout out because it didn't in any other category. But I still think Avengers Infinity War should have won.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree
Yeah.
because it's on my wanted to win. I wanted Infinity War to win, but same with you. Like just because First Man got sidelined so hard, it's just I'm just happy that it got a win.
And I suppose your first reaction to First Man winning it is like, what? But I suppose that's a testament to First Man because there were a lot of visual effects in it and you didn't even think about it because it looks so real.
Technically, that is sort of the best sign of good visual effects. Is
Yeah.
when you don't even notice. So, shout out.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
What else have we got? Best production design, Black Panther makes sense.
Fair enough, yeah.
I mean,
costumes were
Did I
great.
get-
It won
Yeah.
costume design as well.
Oh yeah.
Makeup, hairstyle. No, that.
No, that was
No, that was
Vice,
Vice.
Yeah.
which
I-
makes sense.
I
Costume
can't-
design, I agree.
I
Yeah.
wanted costume design to go to the favorite, but I see why Black Panther got it because that was pretty impressive stuff too. So
Especially those suits in the third act.
what suits? You mean like the skin tight
CGI.
green suits?
Yeah. The mocap they were wearing.
Um,
I didn't really agree with sound editing for Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, actually, there was one of them. Hang on. I mean, I guess it makes sense that Bohemian Rhapsody won both those, given like they've got to sync the dialogue with, and then they got to sync the songs with the actors, which would have been pretty tough. And obviously, all of the music that's interwoven between, and there is a lot of sound editing going on, but I
Yeah.
still felt like First Man
Oh,
was
yeah.
really great with sound. So yeah, I kind of wish it had won one of them. They shared it
Yeah.
around a bit.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about when like those awards happened was, so they give sound editing and sound mixing both sort of separate categories, but they won't have best stunts. They don't have best casting. They don't have best motion capture performance,
Like
like
best
all of
cast
these.
ensemble or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like all of these awards that people want, but they have 2 sound categories. It's like,
Especially when it's usually the same one that wins it.
Yeah.
Both of them, like
Yeah.
Dunkirk won both, and
I mean, I'm not
That's right,
saying
yeah.
get rid of them both, because obviously like they are different skills, but
Yeah.
and
it
they
is a
teach
bit
us in
weird.
film school that sound is very important, very
And
important,
it really is. It's
Very
very
important.
neglected.
And
So I guess maybe the Oscars is where they make up for it. They're like, we'll give you guys 2 awards.
yeah. And to finish up with Spider-Verse.
Thank God.
Happy.
Oh,
Woo!
well deserved.
I am very excited. It's coming out digitally in a couple of weeks, I think.
That's right.
And it's got some awesome special features lined up. It actually has got heaps. If you're going to get it on home release, it's totally worth it. Because I think they knew that it didn't make heaps of money,
Yeah.
but they know that it's going to make a lot of money
Oh, yeah.
on home release. So they've really packed that Blu-ray full of features. So
Yeah.
and the iTunes one. So do what I do and buy on iTunes. Because it's cheaper. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the best documentary short shot?
Do you guys best see this?
Did you guys see the best documentary short subject? Period. End of sentence.
Nah, I didn't see that.
No, I
What?
didn't either. Free Solo though. I'm gonna see that.
I
Looks
want to
pretty
see
good.
that. Yeah.
I don't know what it's about, but I just want to see it because of all the hype.
It's about the making of Solo, a Star Wars story.
I'm there. Front row seat.
That'd be a documentary that needs to happen one day.
Yeah.
It's the rock climbing one, isn't it? Free solo.
Yeah. So any final thoughts on the Academy Awards?
Just surprisingly good.
I'm
Enjoyed it.
keen. I'm keen for the 100th Academy Awards.
Yeah.
When will that be?
Maybe
9
don't
years.
go back to having hosts. They definitely will, but
2028.
and stop making dumbass decisions and reversing them. Just
Stick.
either stick with it or just don't mess with the formula. It seems like it's okay. The ratings have gone up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it. Don't do a popular film. And it gives me hope that we're gonna have some more sort of diverse films in the Best Picture category, since we had Black Panther and things like that. So
Yeah, I feel like
maybe-
it'll open the way for a lot more movies.
Yeah. Alrighty. There you go. Moving on to
Our final
Segment.
That's the word.
You need to see this.
graphic. Bop, bop. Do we have music? Ba, 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 ba. Actually,
That's a John
side
Cena
note, my
thing.
favorite Vine of all time
That's
is the
John's-
kid with the 2 recorders in his nose. It goes. Ba, 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 ba. It makes me smile every time I see it. It just is a little piece of happiness in my life. Thanks, Vine. Anyways, Dragon.
Well, I guess you need to see that too. But more importantly,
What is the
I
movie
think
we need to see?
I think you guys need to see Southpaw, which
We did.
Which you did. And it was released in 2015. Unfortunately, it was overshadowed by Creed. I think this falls into one of the more overlooked categories because a lot of people did like this movie.
What is it about?
It stars Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
very, very talented, as Forrest Whitaker as well, and Rachel McAdams. Jake Gyllenhaal plays pro boxer Billy Hope, and he's got a great career, but as a person, it's just not really the best.
Bit of a Gumby.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he suffers a tragedy during his career, and he's just being beaten down with depressing moments, and then he finds an unlikely savior, Tick Willis, played by Forrest Whitaker, and he wants to pretty much box his way back up to the top. So yeah.
First thing I gotta say is they really went on the nose with the names in the movie. Billy Hope was like, all right, and then there's a line at the end. Actually, I won't spoil it, but there is a line that uses his last name as a pun, and I was like, that's the whole reason his name was Billy Hope, is so they could have that one line. So there you go.
So what do you guys think of it?
It's directed by Antoine Fuqua.
Who I looked up, and it first thing came up was Olympus Has Fallen, and I was like, now I know why you wanted me to watch this. So there.
I haven't seen Training. He directed Training Day, didn't he?
Yep.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Training Day. I've heard it's really good.
Written by David Ayer.
But Antoine Fuqua's favourite movie of my favorite movie of his would still be Olympus Has Fallen. Southpaw.
Speaking of, you can tweet at Lionsgate and don't tweet at Millennium Films, but tweet at Lionsgate and Gerard Butler, and get us to the premiere of
Yes.
Angel Has Fallen.
Angel Has Fallen.
Let's make this happen.
It's definitely
We
going to happen.
want to see Gerard. Please.
But yeah,
Back to your thoughts.
It was just. It was a good movie, but it wasn't as cinematic as like Rocky or Creed.
yeah,
It just didn't. Even that what was that? Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro comedy sort of boxing movie.
Grudge
Match,
Was a
yeah.
bit more cinematic than Southpaw. And I get Southpaw was really gritty and real, but yeah, sometimes it just the camera was always out of the ring for most of the time. There's a couple times where they go in for the
Like the POV shots.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very few times compared to Creed or Rocky where you're just, especially Creed and Creed 2.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're in it.
Did
You're in
they
it.
have POV shots in the first Creed?
No. It's
Yeah,
only
I
the
think
second one.
because Southpaw came out before Creed, I think that's why. Like I saw Southpaw in the POV shots, I was like, holy, like
Yeah,
crap, this is
yeah.
I'm feeling it. So seeing that again in Creed 2, I was like, this is nice.
Cool. I think what you said is exactly right. Like the Creed / Rocky franchise, I guess it has sort of a monopoly on the boxing movies, and so watching something that's trying to do something a little bit different, but it doesn't quite. I mean, in my sort of opinion, it didn't quite reach the feelings you get when you watch the Rocky movies, and
Yeah.
it just made me want to watch those movies again
Yeah.
rather than be watching this
yeah,
one.
for sure.
And so I think it's unfortunate that you can't really make a boxing movie without being compared to that.
Yeah.
But it seemed like at times they were trying to do it differently, and it almost sort of hurts it. They're like, okay, the Rocky movies are these like inspirational, sort of upbeat, like they're dark in some places, but they don't go really for it. Whereas this one is just like swearing, bloody, violent, depressing. Like it just
really depressing.
it really goes for it. And
Which
so
was different. Yeah.
Yeah.
they tried to make it different, and there were just times when I was just like, this is just like it almost goes too far,
Yeah.
But obviously it'll
Yeah.
depend on the mood you're in at the time. And as I was saying before, I watched A Star Is Born, and then I was like, I need a nice fun
me up.
movie, yeah. And then I watched this, and it was just like dead by the end of the night. I was just so depressed. Like there was a point halfway through the movie where I was just like, like the only reason I'm still watching this is so I can just see them happy at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I was at those points, I was like, will they be happy? Like, will it even pick them up? Like,
And you'll have to find out by
Yeah.
watching it.
you'll find out.
I think because we watched this last night, our friend Heath said it best because when you're treated to movies like Creed and Rocky and like in action, like with the Raid, it's sort of like, I'm happy I saw it because they're like the best of the best,
Mhm.
but it's also tainted other movies in the same genre. And like, even though, obviously, like while I was watching Southpaw, I was like, I kind of want to watch Creed, but I can still fully appreciate what this movie tried to do and how different it tried to stray, despite following like a sort of a basic storytelling formula.
Yeah.
But yeah, like performances were fantastic. I even thought some of the boxing scenes were like great. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right on the performances. I think the casting of Rachel McAdams was awesome, especially because of what, like, I don't want to spoil it, but like it's you understand why they did it, and it really affects the rest of the movie, like her performance. So so that was really good. The kid was great as well. His daughter, I thought she was really good. Jake Gyllenhaal's obviously it's really
and the
good.
fact that he went from Nightcrawler shape to this, the turnaround.
True, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Because I remember that first image coming out where he's just like kind of flexing in the ring, and man.
Yeah, he definitely turns into that guy. Like you can just see it. It's like you can see the kind of character that he's playing.
I think it hits when like, because in the credits at the start it says directed by Anton Fuqua, and his face is coming into the shot, and it's like this really bloody like screaming into the camera. Yeah, and it's just it's so intense.
It's different because I'm used to having the sort of likable guy with whether it's Rocky or whether it's
like
Michael B.
Adonis Creed,
Jordan,
yeah.
and then he's just way more of that sort of like
Like
uneducated,
like the cocky, like
boxer.
boxer.
Really arrogant. Like he looks like what a real boxer is when you watch them these days. Like, and so to lose that charisma is a little bit jarring, but you connect. They really do a good job of making you connect to this guy,
and like you see why he like turned out like this. Like
the characters really well set up.
Fantastic job on all the characters.
And Forrest Whitaker's character as well. He was really good, but yeah, there was, I think, based on the mood I was in and just
fair enough.
I think the two factors that stopped it from being like super awesome for me was just the mood and the Creed movies, which I guess
which is fair,
aren't the movie's fault. But like I can see when I was reading some of the reviews and stuff, I was like, I kind of agree with a lot of them, but I still think that if you're a fan of boxing movies, it's sort of worth watching.
Yeah. Southpaw, check it out.
Also, you were talking about it before, why it was called Southpaw, but it's like, it's a very like minuscule part of the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of a spoiler.
What, the title, I guess?
In a way.
Sort of. But what else are they going to call it? Like, Hope? It's like, that's a little bit too, like, on the nose. Yeah. I want to see the alternate version of this where it was Eminem ripped as a boxer. I can't imagine that.
Unofficial follow-up to 8 Mile.
Yeah. It just makes me want to watch 8 Mile again, really.
No, I still haven't seen 8 Mile.
If you had... All right. So, anything else? Any other thoughts on Southpaw?
No, just
awesome.
Good little movie.
So we've gone through all of us now for a movie. So we've recommended Gerald's Game. We've recommended Okja, and now we've recommended Southpaw. So we'll see what we get next month. Speaking of next month, we'll be back in 1 month with the next episode. I think it's featuring a guest as well. So we're going to start to swap things up a bit. Thanks for listening again. We really appreciate all of your support. You can check out the audio versions on all your favorite audio platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn, as well as Podbean, which is where it gets uploaded every month. So make sure to download us, review us, recommend us to your friends, all that. If you're watching the video version right now, make sure to subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss anything. Make sure to head over to Movies of the Future on Instagram for all of your movie news and reviews. They're also on Twitter now, which is really cool, actually. I've had fun going through that Twitter page as well. So, yeah, go and follow them on Twitter. It's almost Movies of the Future, but you can't quite fit it. So.
Yeah, it's Movies of the Future, but FUTR.
There you go.
Future.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Future.
You'll find it. And if you like this, head over to theslopshack.com where you can check out all of our other podcasts, video series, music videos, etc. March is like a huge month. I think it's actually the biggest month of content that we've had yet, which is a bit of a pain because it's sort of right as uni starts, but it's going to happen. So make sure to check out Sleuth when it drops, and we've got a few big announcements regarding some secret projects that we've been working on, which will be dropping towards the middle of the month, so get excited for that. And so, until next time.
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck.